What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Absolutely April. I'm here for another reality recap, Real Housewives of Potomac. So, if you're new to my channel, I do reality recaps, I do TV recaps, also movies, and I might throw in some spirituality tips. You never know what I might, I like to share a little bit of me. This is my passion, and I just want you all to get to know me and whatever knowledge I have, whatever opinions I have, I like to share with my tribe. So you might as well go ahead and subscribe. Join my tribe. I want to build this community where we can speak freely but respectfully and just be able to have different, if we have a difference of opinion, we can respect each other's opinion. You may even be able to sway me to change mine. You never know. So like the video, go ahead and like the video because you're going to like it. And also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified about all of my uploads. And sharing is caring. Share with a friend. Hit that share button and share with one of your friends so they can subscribe to me too. So, if you're returning to my channel and you've been watching my content, I appreciate you all and I thank you all. Thank you to my new subscribers for subscribing to me and being with me on this journey of YouTube because I just started maybe about 2-3 months ago. So it's been fun. I've been having a good time. So I hope you've been enjoying my content. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. Actually, let me make the screen a little bigger. So yeah, I enjoyed this particular episode. I think we're on episode 4. Let me get my notes up. Be prepared. And it wasn't like I won't say it was like one of my top ones, but it's definitely, it was decent. I wasn't too bored with it. I didn't have to get up and, go somewhere else. So I divert my attention to somewhere else. So I stayed pretty locked in. So if I was to review it, this episode, I would probably give it maybe about a 7, maybe about a 7.5 maybe. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're on episode 4, and the title of this particular episode is Not All Fun and Games, and it definitely wasn't. So we're still back with the ladies. They're still at the dance studio, and they're discussing the whole situation with Robin. Well, Robin is inviting all of the ladies, or they kind of, recapped it back, picked up where they left off. Well, Robin not inviting Wendy to her family fun day. She asked everybody around, like, are y'all free? Are y'all on fall? Are y'all on break? And blah, blah, blah. And I want to invite y'all to my family fun day. And she purposely excludes Wendy. And, she said, why would I invite someone who says that I'm a horrible person? I get it. Robin, I get the petty, and she acknowledges in her confessional that she was being petty. However, it's about the kids. You ain't even got to really interact with her. Y'all are supposed to be doing fun and games. Y'all really don't have to interact with each other. So I don't see what the big deal was in not inviting her and her babies to the family fun day to, let them play around because, the kids, they're innocent in all of this. You don't have to like her, but, I just don't, I don't understand why she would exclude, her kids in the, grand scheme of things. I know temperatures were hot at the dance studio. Maybe she should have, invited Wendy out to lunch and, they just, she apologizes for not inviting her and, and lets her know that she, would like her and her babies to come. They don't have to be on the same page, but she would love her babies to participate and have fun with the other kids and bond with the other kids on the show. So yeah, Robin, you could have been a little bit better with that. You could have been a little bit more of a grown woman. So yeah, I'm going to take you to task on that. So it also starts where, Wendy is talking to Eddie. They are watching her boys look like they were getting some private coaching in football. So, and her baby daughter, Cameron, I believe her name, was out there as well. And she's gotten big. She's walking. The last time I think we saw her, she was in, I think she was a little baby. She was an infant, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, it was good to kind of see her and walking around and talking and engaging. So I like to see that. So, Wendy is talking to Eddie about what happened at the dance class and how she and Robin got into it. And they flash back to, Wendy saying that, telling Robin that, you are the ones that call Mia a liar about her ailments. And but then we all know that Wendy, because she had a hot mic moment last episode, where she also thinks that Mia is a liar. So I mean, it's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. But she at that time hadn't said it on camera. But now she has had her hot mic moment, and now she doesn't have a leg to stand on. So I can't wait to, see with the reunion where she tries to talk her way out of it. I'm sure Dr. Wendy Osefo will figure out a way to skirt around that. But if it's just something where, they may not totally believe Mia, and Mia's story changes all the time. So it's just you just never know what's going on with Mia, and she's very like, I don't know, she's very all over the place type. But I guess they like that for the show. So what Robin is also practicing with her boys for the family fun day. They're doing the sack races, and Juan comes out and races with them. And it's always good to see Juan on camera with Robin. I mean, a lot of people don't believe they're ever going to get married. I really don't know. I feel like they're comfortable. I mean, they have been acting like a married couple without having the paperwork. So it's kind of like, what is the rush? So I don't know if you've been conducting yourself like a married couple. Why would we get paperwork involved? But I'm always a proponent of getting married because it gives you certain rights. Especially if this is the person you want to be with. If something happens to this person and you are not, you know, technically married to them, it goes to the next of kin. And somebody else would be able to make those decisions unless there's a power of attorney in place. But sometimes you don't have time to put a power of attorney in place. So, I am a proponent of it because it just gives you certain rights when you need it. And you never know what may happen. Things happen. Believe you me, things happen. So, Robin is, like I said, practicing with the boys, and Juan gets beat by their oldest, and everybody realizes they're out of shape. I remember doing doing those sack races, back in elementary. When we had those field day type activities. I don't know if I would be able to do it because sometimes I swear my knees are tricky. Sometimes I'm telling you, my knees get tricky from years of ballet dancing on the band, marching, track. So my knees can get a little tricky. So yeah, bouncing, jumping up and down in a potato sack. Yeah, I can see where that could be a little bit exhausting. So Robin is telling Juan about what happened and her not inviting Wendy to the family fun day. So she asked for Juan's opinion, and he said, "Yeah, you need to apologize about that, and you need to go make it right with her." So she suggests to have Candace to play auntie for the day, and she go pick up Wendy's kids and allow them to interact with the other kids. If it's about the kids like Wendy says it is, she's saying that if Candace can go pick up the kids and and allow them to play with the other kids. But Robin, that I mean, again, it's kind of hard to say that now because you already disinvited them. So now, oh, you get invited, but your mama's not invited. It's just that's weird, Wendy. Robin, and it's a little tricky. And I just don't understand why you would think that that would be a good idea. Would you do that with when you put it in your shoes? Would you allow if Wendy did that to you? Would you allow your boys to go over and have Giselle take them? I mean, it's just like, come on now, come on. It's just like, be smart about it, Robin. Go ahead and admit that you were wrong and invite her. You could have called her, FaceTimed her, took her out to eat for a quick, a little brunch, go to Starbucks, something, and just told her, apologize, fall on the sword, say you were wrong in that instance, and you would like to invite her if she still wants to come, or if she would like to come and grace them with her presence. But yeah, you need to make that right, Robin. And asking Candace to be play auntie for a day, that's not the move. So Wendy is also telling Eddie about the whole Chris debacle. And so Eddie immediately say, oh, so they after Chris now, and they were like, and he's like, well, Chris, made the meals, they talked, they had a relationship with Chris. So now Chris is problematic. So they kind of talk about that a little bit. And again, I think Giselle, I get it on one end that, okay, you don't want to be in a compromising position with a married man. You got cameras, things can be misconstrued. However, it's like, come on now, Giselle, you're putting 20 on 10 at this point. You are being a little bit extra. It didn't even need to be brought to Candace, honestly, because nothing happened. He wasn't trying to make you uncomfortable. From what Chris says, he said when Giselle verbalized, I'm a little uncomfortable about you being in my room and you being married, he left. So it got to, how can you take it out of context? He accommodated you. And you said you were uncomfortable. He accommodated you, and that was that. The whole thing with Chris making Ashley uncomfortable, I can maybe understand that because Ashley didn't know that he is the general manager of this restaurant at the W. However, once Robin told you, it should have been a wash. It shouldn't even be that serious at that point. So that's my opinion on that. Comment down below if you agree or disagree. What are your thoughts on it? Because I really think Giselle is just being overly dramatic. I get it, in one point, but he corrected his actions. So this should be a moot point at this time. It just should not even be a situation. So they show Karen talking to Raven. Raven is all dolled up. I think she's going to some type of red carpet event. And Karen is so proud of her. So they're talking. And she talks to Raven and tell her that Ray does not like her. Like that she got her breast augmentation and that is setting a bad example for Raven. But she's like, little do you know, me and Raven have girl talk all the time. So this is not something that, is going to sway Raven in any different way. So yeah, it was good to see Raven. I know she's been kind of jet setting around since college. So, it's good to see that, she's living out her dreams. And she's, seems like she's on a nice and straight path. So I like to see that. So Ashley's at her home. Her publicist, excuse me, her name is Auntie, arrives to Ashley's home to talk about her and Michael and, their breakup. So Ashley is telling Auntie that her and Michael wants to put out a joint statement about the separation. Auntie feels like it's a great idea. And she said, at the end of the day, the trolls are going to troll. So you're going to get the haters, but her and Michael standing as a united front and getting in front of, because it's going to get out. So her getting in front of it and saying like, okay, we're doing a conscious uncoupling, like they like to say, or we are separating and they are in a united front. This would be helpful, and with the whole thing and without it getting so salacious. So that was good advice. And I don't know, the whole thing with Michael and Ashley, I just don't understand that. I think Ashley is trying to hang on to Michael for financial reasons, of course, and that's been her security blanket. So I think being without Michael And possibly, because I feel like Michael can be vindictive. And I think Ashley knows Michael can be vindictive. So she's kind of like trying to tread lightly without angering him because that's going to take away her financial security blanket. So she's trying to play it real safe while at the same time, parting ways. So I get it, but I feel like Ashley, I don't know. I don't trust Michael. I don't trust Michael at all. And I think that he has an upper hand in this. And I feel like he's going to make matters a little bit hard. I think he's going to make this a little bit hard for Ashley. So hopefully Ashley affords herself I mean, if it were me and I was with Michael, all the while, I feel like Ashley knew her end game. They were not going to be together forever. So either he was going to pass away and she was going to get some, or she was going to divorce him. So Ashley, I guess, came to they came to a crossroads. She didn't want to do threesomes anymore. And so now they're at a crossroads and they're going to separate. But I'm hoping and praying that while she's been making her money from Real Housewives, that she's also been stockpiling, this money. So just in case, my mom always say you need to have, your mad money. When you get mad and you want to get the help, get out of a situation, you need to have a little stash. You have your own account that he don't know nothing about. So I'm hoping Ashley has done that and made some good investments with that money, just in case Michael pulls the rug up from underneath her and kind of like cuts off financial until they can get it settled in court. So I don't know. We'll see. Because I think it's going to get messy. What y'all think? Comment down below. So Robin gets ready for her fun day. And Robin appears to be, when I was looking at Robin, I said, I feel like, because y'all remember last season, she was having issues with getting out of bed and maybe going through a little bit seasonal depression, whatnot. And I get it. I understand mental health and I can understand, going through little bouts of depression. However, I feel like Robin might just be a little lazy. Or lackadaisical, something. She just doesn't seem to have any about her. I really feel like she's a little lazy. So she's getting ready for fun day. She seems like she has thrown together this whole thing. She, came out there with like little paper plates and these little dollar store tablecloths, or maybe she's just frugal with her money. Maybe she's frugal with it. But I'm just like, if you're gonna invite people to family fun day, I mean, let it at least look decent. So yeah, this is a clip of them still talking in the dance studio, and here's Wendy and Robin shading each other in their confessionals. So yeah, here we go at family fun day, and it's just I don't know, Robin, it just seemed thrown together. Robin didn't have no prizes for family fun day. She didn't have, no certificates. She didn't have nothing. It was just like, hey, let's all go play in the park. And, and I'm gonna, have some little tin foil plates worth, for some food if y'all want it. That I don't know where she got it from. It might have been some wings and meatballs or something like that. I don't know. But so Giselle is on her way with Grace. The twins are not there, and her and Grace talk about how the twins are the most athletic out of the whole family. So not having the twins there is going to be a disadvantage for them. So I see Grace is growing up. She's a beautiful girl. I mean, beautiful girl. She is really, really pretty. She seems respectful. I like her attitude. They both of the girls, they give Giselle hell. And I love it. And Giselle seems to love it too. So I love their interaction as mother and daughter. And I love to see that Grace is growing up. So Mia is on the way to the fun day with her two babies. And she talks about her mom's addiction. And she talks about how, when someone gets addicted, depending on where they are when they first get addicted, that's where their maturity stops. So she understands now that when she talks to her mom, that her mom isn't, even though her mom could be, I don't know how old her mom is, but if her mom is like 60 years old, she doesn't have a 60-year-old maturity because she started drugs at a young age. So she has to remind herself of that and give her mother some grace. So hopefully, Mia and her mom can get on the same page. Sometimes mother and daughter relationships can be sticky. And then she's been hurt a lot by her mom, dealing with her mom's addiction. So there's a lot of hurt there, but it's also some, it's pain, and it takes time. Sometimes those wounds take time to heal, but hopefully, her mother is going to put in the effort to, continue to make things right, make amends with Mia, and Mia is going to continue to give her mom the grace and embrace her mom, where she is in life. So hopefully they can get on the same page. She also talks about Candace, how her and Candace are still not on the same page. They when they come in the room, she pays her dust. Both of them pay each other dust. Candace don't care. Candace will ignore you. Candace will shade you. She ain't on this. If she don't like you, you will definitely know. And I'm kind of like Candace in that if I don't like you, I don't like you. I'm not going to play, fake with you and be like, hey, how you doing? That's just not my personality. Maybe that's the Virgo in me. But if I don't like you, you know it. You know it. And if you ask me, and I'll tell you, yeah. I'm just not that person that I don't like to make other people feel uncomfortable, but I'm not going to, if I have an issue, you definitely know that I have an issue with you. I'm just gonna let you know at that point. So, like I put in my notes, Robin's fun day looks a little thrown together, and it is. Mia said, I could have skipped out on this. Like, I think her 13-year-old decided didn't want to come, so she was like, I should have stayed. Took heed from my 13-year-old and stayed where I was. So yeah, it was definitely lackluster. It was a lackluster event. So, Mia asked if Juan is going to be there. Being the athlete out of all the men, is Juan going to be there? Juan is not there. Why is it that Juan never shows up to events and stuff? I think that Juan just don't want to be filmed. He don't want nothing to do with this show. He will film with Robin to make appearances and to probably make her happy. But when it comes to an all cast event, I don't think Juan really wants to be involved because it can get messy, and he just don't even want to be put in the situation. And I think that's what the case is. I really do. Whatever Robin said, his face swole up or something, but I really don't think that that's the truth. I feel like Robin, I mean, Robin knows that Juan don't want to be a part of all cast events. And she just makes excuses for him at this point. So Karen arrives and she's like, you got me outside with these allergies. So she's already saying that she got allergy issues and she was recovering from a respiratory illness. So yeah, so I don't know if it's an excuse or not, but the Grand Dame says she has allergies and she can't believe that Robin planned an outside event. Jacqueline arrives, which is Mia's best friend. She arrives with her ex-husband, or they're on the outs. And she was just like, and they asked, like, I thought you and your husband weren't together no more. She said, we're not together. He's just here as a PP, as a, something parent, he's just here as a parent. We're co-parenting. She called him a PP. I forgot what the PP stood for, but yeah, she said that he's just here as their dad, not my husband, but their dad. So Giselle in her confessional, always being shady, she was like, I thought PP meant like a small penis, and yeah, and so I'm like, Giselle, I tell you, that thing on Giselle. So Candace, while they're at Fun Day, Candace texts Robin, it's like, yeah, it's a no for for me bringing Wendy's kids to the Fun Day. So Robin says, well, I guess it's not about the kids. Robin, no, it was janky. That was not That was not the move. And no one is going to bring their child out there via someone else when you got an issue with them. It's just not, that's not the move either. So Sharice arrives, and Karen gets the call, having her coffin fit when Sharice arrives. But the grand dame says she has allergies. It's not about Sharice. She has allergies, y'all. So comment down below if you feel like she has allergies, because she feels like she got allergies. So I don't know. Who's to say? But if she don't want to be in Sharice's presence, she don't have to be. Everybody has their own. They have, I can choose who I want in my space, and if she doesn't want Sharice in her space, then so be it. That's just what it is. So Karen she participates in the sack race, and and Karen, for her being a woman of a particular age, shout out to Wendy Williams. If she's a woman of a particular age and she got her butt out there to sack race, I mean, look at Karen, y'all. Karen is in the light blue. She looks good. She looks better than Giselle to me. So I mean, hell, I think Karen looks good to be a woman of a particular age, and for her to get out there and jump in the sack race, even though it was a slow jump. I'm proud of Karen. I want to be like her when I grow up. She takes care of herself. She keeps up with her self-care regimen and everything. And I love that about Karen. So she does the sack race. Sharice comes out there, and I guess she didn't want to interact with Sharice, but she started having a coughing attack. She had to put her hands up. She had to get herself together after participating in the sack race. And so she decides that she leaves, and G, Mia's husband, walks her to her car, and she says she needs to get her Z-Pack. Now, whatever Z-Pack is, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's something for allergies, but she says she needs to go get her Z-Pack, and she's going to the nearest CVS to go get one, and she's going to take it on home. So, Robin, being shady, is like, is it because of you, Sharice? And she was like, Sharice said, she don't like me. So, now, of course, Giselle, Robin, and Sharice are speculating that Karen just did that to get away from her. And maybe so. Who's to say? But if she don't want to interact with you, she just don't want to interact with you, in my opinion. So Giselle, of course, she has to say, well, when I asked Karen, has she seen you or anything, she tried to act like she didn't even know who you were. So it's just like, we see where this is going for this season. It's going to be Sharice versus the Grand Dame. So when they finally have their showdown, I'm pretty sure Karen is going to handle Sharice, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get ugly. So it's clear as this whole family fun day is going down, it's a debacle. It's so unorganized. Robin, next time, hire someone, an event planner or somebody to do your events, because this is ridiculous. This is not of housewife quality. You just throw the, and from what I understand, each housewife has to put on an event. So if you're going to put on an event, get you an event planner. You got it, Robin. You selling the embellished hats. You trying to get a whole prenup from Juan. So clearly you got some money to invest in getting the organizer. Stop being lazy, Robin. And I know you want to save money, but sometimes you have to throw some money at certain things. And when you're doing events for a cast on a national TV show, zhuzh it up a little bit, Robin. Come on. So Candace finally arrives, and she says her, hellos. She ignores the heck out of Giselle, which is funny. And Giselle is in her confession like, well, she needs to get over it. No, she don't. You was talking about her husband, Giselle. You are talking about her husband and putting 20 on 10 about her husband, saying he made you feel uncomfortable. So no, she doesn't see it for you. And I don't blame her. You ain't gonna talk about my husband and think we about to be pleasant, So I get it. So Candace tells Sharice, kind of, has a little conversation with Candace, and she says, people are making up heinous lies about her. So we all know who she's talking about is definitely Giselle. So Ashley arrives with her boys, as you can see, and she participates in the limbo contest. And she's out there and trying to participate. She got her boys. The little one don't want to be put down. He want to be carried everywhere. And I remember that age very, very, very vividly. And when they don't want to be put down, it's a wrap. It's a whole wrap. So you literally have to carry them when sometimes they just don't feel comfortable. So you have to carry them around. So when I saw that, I thought about, my situation. So Ashley says, everything when they ask her about the house, buying process, she says everything she likes has been bidded on. A lot of cash offers are swooping in, and they're not doing cash offers. They're doing, they're financing it through their LLC. And, at this time when the housing market was booming, this with this summer, this spring, I mean, it was very much so booming because that's when, I bought my home. And I mean, or when I sold my home. And I mean, as soon my house wasn't on the market maybe 30 minutes, and I started getting cash offers. Cash offers were rolling in. When I tell you, it was crazy to get those cash offers that were, that I mean, sight unseen. All they saw were the pictures, and they wanted my house. So yeah, I can understand. Ashley, it was hard to find a house during that time because they were being taken. I mean, those cash offers was rolling in quickly. So it was a battle, especially if you're looking for a home. It was definitely a battle. At this point, and I don't know about the market because I think she lives in Virginia somewhere. She might have been better off building her home, but I don't know how the market is up there. We had some builders, but the only thing when you built your home because of COVID, or the Ponderosa, it was, we couldn't get a lot of help. Um, and then there was shortages on lumber. It was just crazy. It was a crazy time. The market has definitely slowed down a lot, but I feel Ashley's pain. I feel Ashley's pain. She wants to get out of that little condominium or that little high rise and get her into an actual home. So yeah, for she and her boys. Um, Ashley also revealed that Michael is getting a vasectomy because he fears that Ashley is trying to get pregnant again. So he opted to get a vasectomy. He was like, not another one. You won't get another one on me. Not one more. You will not drain any more of my money. So, she said she feels some type of way about it because it's final. They can never have another baby. So, Ashley, you can have another baby. It's not gonna be with Michael. And furthermore, I thought she said when they separated that if they had relations, it would start the clock over. So I'm like, well, when y'all are y'all still having relations? I mean, come on. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just caught that. Did y'all catch that? Comment down below when she's because she sure enough said that, her and Michael was still getting it in. And I thought she said earlier in the season, a couple episodes ago, that she and Michael weren't doing the do no more. But it sounds like they are because he has to go get a vasectomy because he feels like she is trying to get pregnant again. Mm, Ashley, I caught you. I caught you, Ashley. So Jacqueline said, Ashley is talking about how the reason why she and Michael are getting a divorce because he still wanted to do the threesome. She wasn't into it no more. But Jacqueline says that, she understands, that's Mia's friend. She says she understands because her husband wanted to do the threesome thing and that caused the demise in their relationship. So Ashley asked her, she was like, oh, do you swing the other way? Are you into women? She was like, I don't know what I like. I just like people, hey, to each their own. So, so Ashley and Candace have a little bit of girl time, so they talk. Ashley and Candace, so she asked about her egg retrieval and, how the process is going. And Candace, she didn't really get teary eyed, but you could tell she, was getting a little choked up. she said she feels like a failure because the egg retrieval process didn't go as expected. You know, her follicles or something, it just wasn't responding the way it should, so that she had to stop the process, and that makes her feel like a failure. I mean, fertility for women is such a delicate subject because, especially if you want kids and you are having trouble with the process. Now, I'm pretty sure that Candace can have it naturally, but she wants to have that security blanket because she is, you know, into her career right now, which I totally get. And she wants to be able to have that security blanket to have the babies when she chooses to. She's going to try naturally, but she also wants that security blanket should she, you know, reach a certain age. And she wants to have the best eggs possible, but the egg retrieval did not go as planned. And I feel so bad for Candace in that aspect because, you know, when you want to be a mom, you want to be a mom. And I'm wishing and hoping that she can, you know, live out her dreams of being a mother. So Ashley is sympathetic to her, which is not what Candace showed her when Ashley was going through her process of wanting to have a baby. But Ashley, you know, is doing the right thing and being, you know, being sympathetic to her. And she even told her, she said, "I wrote you down in my journal." And she's like, "You wrote me down in your journal," and she sprayed like she put like baby dust or something on it. And she was like, "Well, it's just a journal of affirmations." And so Candace in her confessional says that, you know, don't be putting me down in your journal like with some witchcraft. She said the only thing she, you know, knows about is Jesus. And I said, and when I saw it, you know, it makes me chuckle because we as Blacks, I mean, as Christians, we get um, so up in arms about something that appears to be witchcraft, and it's not that serious. I mean, it's really really not. It's nothing evil. It's just stuff that we have done since slavery, and back, if you track it on back to Africa, they have done little things to shift the energy, to, you know, help you to be able to have conceive and things of that nature. Is nothing bad. It's just about energy. And you know, I've always learned that energy follows your intent. So she's putting intentions out there for you to be able to have a baby. You should be happy because the way you treated her when she was getting pregnant, I wouldn't, you know, I don't know if I would do it for you. I might, you know, send a little light prayer up for you, but she's actually, you know, doing some, you know, sending out good intentions for you to be able to have your baby. At least I hope she is. But, you know, us as Blacks, anything that don't sound like I just prayed for you and I went to church and lit a candle or something like that, it sounds like witchcraft. So it's just so unsettling when when we are so close-minded about different things. You never know what might be the factor in getting you, the results that you want. So um later on, Ashley is driving and she looks at her phone and she starts to get all these pings. And she finds out that the story has been leaked that she and Michael are getting separated. And Ashley is kind of like trying to figure out where it could have came from because her circle is kind of tight. And there's not too many people in her circle that, other than I'm pretty sure the ladies on the show and, her publicist, not many people know about she and Michael separated, and of course her family. So she was like, how could it have been leaked to the blog? Someone who is in their circle, or maybe someone that knows Michael could have leaked it. Who knows? But someone leaked it to the blogs, and she has been trying to get in touch with Michael. Michael is sending her the voicemail and not picking up. So I don't know if we don't know if Michael has caught wind that he's in the blogs because as she calls her publicist says like, yes, I'm dealing with all of this backlash. Not really the backlash, but she's dealing with the volume of, people talking about it and the fact that Michael is now being demonized. They are happy for Ashley, but Michael is being demonized. And Ashley was like, this is not how we wanted it. We wanted to come, to start out as a united front, not start out with Michael being demonized and, smeared in the media. So Michael's not picking up, but Ashley was like, I wanted to get his his grace or get, do it together prior to, she wanted to send it out together. And she didn't want to do it without Michael's knowledge. So at that point, she's like, what does she do? Her publicist is like, I would just go ahead and put out the statement. So eventually she says, I'm going to trust my gut and just put the statement out there so we can, try to mitigate some of the damage that has already been done. Now, I don't know if her doing this is going to cause a rift between her and Michael. We shall see, but he ain't picking up the phone, so we don't know at this point. So it's just going to be interesting of what happens between Ashley and Michael. Like I said, I don't feel like this divorce is going to be happy-go-lucky or easygoing as Ashley may think it is. I think Michael is holding all the cards. He's holding the purse strings, and it's going to get a little bit ugly. So I'm hoping, that Ashley has her boxing gloves on, because when it comes to divorce, some divorces can be very, very brutal. So I'm hoping that she's in it for the long haul. So that's pretty much the end of the episode. Comment down below. How would you review this episode? Do you like it? Like I said, I'll probably give it about a 7, but I think it's going to start heating up later in the episodes. As the episodes go, in the previews, it looks like Wendy is going to have some type of burn session where they, writing something down and burning it. And it's going to get ugly because the lady's going to have to, talk about some things. So, like I said, I'll give it a 7. It kept my attention for the most part. And we'll see what's going to happen in the next episode. And I'll see you in the next episode for Real Housewives of Potomac. Hopefully I can put it out sooner than I have put out this video. I'm getting back on my schedule. So stick with your girl. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.